Hello guys, welcome back to Let's Play Disco Elysium. So, last time we had just arrived at the beach, or not really sure what this place was, but think I was just about to talk with this guy. But before we do that, let's prepare a little bit. Yeah, pose 1 to Kingdom of Conscience, 1 Perception. Not really sure which are the best skills to have at this stage, but right, let's just go with this. Let's see how it goes. Tiny cages, carefully constructed. What about this? These soggy logs smell of ignition fluid. They still won't light up. It's almost impossible to get a fire going this near to the ocean. These heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes crumbling. People are starting to think waking up.
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water.
What is this about?
Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there, by the old boy bobbing in the water. Time to go.
Okay, what is it? A boy bobs in the water. The number on it says 11. Huh. Well, can't we check it? No, I guess. But let's remember that for later. I think it's probably something important. Okay, let's see. What is this? A can? And with some cash inside. Nice. Alright. Let's start this talk finally.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
Morel the Cryptozoologist. Finally we found you.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Took us long enough. What do you have to say for yourself?
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
Oh, the police!
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Why, what's the problem of us being here?
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
I love his voice. You must be Morel, the cryptozoologist.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Right. Well, Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Hey, of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn waterlock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
And we completed task. Find Morel the cryptozoologist, gained 70 experience and leveled up. Nice. How many? 7 points. Still, okay. Okay. Yeah, that was me. Okay, so yeah, that was me. I broke the water lock with my motor carriage, but it's fixed now. You can go back. Or I can tell him, or I can withhold this information that I was the one who broke it. The water lock's been fixed, so I went across it. Alright, I don't know, let's be honest. Yeah, that was me. I broke the water lock with my motor carriage, but it's fixed now. You can go back.
You broke the waterlock with a motor carriage. There was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle. It said Samaran Butter.
I guess you're right. It was really the sign's fault. Anyway, you can go back now.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes.
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Alright.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
Tell me more about this phasmid you're looking for.
which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
What makes it so difficult to find?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
So you're literally looking for a needle in a haystack.
And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
What sort of specialized techniques is the phasmid using to hide itself?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid.
Okay, how big is the phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
Seems puny, to be honest.
Why are you so interested in this stick bug? It doesn't seem to be as colorful as some of the other cryptids I heard about.
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of my, of any, cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
Would be glory itself.
What have you discovered about it so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found one.
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's
question.
real.
Okay, not a good answer.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Lennon said there has been a sighting of it here in Martinez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the
Okay.
first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Maybe the Insulian phasmid has died out?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Parthenogenesis?
Yes, the females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
Females reproducing without males? A travesty! A crime against passion and common sense.
Nature does not concern herself with ethical propositions. As a scientist, my interest is strictly dispassionate.
Alright. Tell me more about these traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Lena designed the traps?
Yes,
How do the traps work?
simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out.
Huh, okay. So basically this is like this old story with Winnie the Pooh, right? Where he went inside the wood barrel and filled his stomach with honey, and he became so fat that he couldn't get out.
At least, That's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
Okay, what are you using as bait? Okay, he already said locusts.
Locusts.
Yeah.
Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesised that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm. A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
A carnivorous stick insect? Seems unlikely.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
Well, it's good that you have all your bases covered.
Not a big fan of skepticism, this one.
What will you do if these traps don't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
Oh, excuse me. Let me ask you about something else then.
Yes. What?
Right, how did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up, if you prod a little.
So you're living your childhood dream out here.
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
Have you ever discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So how many cryptids have been found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemney, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes.
Wow, so the other 2,080 have been found?
2 are categorised as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
So out of 4,000, only 2 have proven to be real. So that's what? 1 out of 2,000 is like 0.05%, I guess.
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Yugograd, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere.
Well, aren't those just regular animals?
We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
I don't know what to say. That's a small number of discoveries.
Do you know what the success rate in pharmacological research is? 0.00003% of bioreactive agents have reproducibly beneficial effects. Yet science persists in the search for medicine, as we persist in our search for new species.
That's a good argument. Although I'll say medicine is a bit more beneficial, but you never know. Also, I really like how he says "not" instead of "no" or "0."
He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
So is he British or something? Or maybe Australian? Not sure who used to say "not." Why not just be a zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too.
Real? I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
Honestly, being a cryptozoologist trumps most of the garbage I've seen people do.
My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
Your nerve endings tell you there is no such thing as a positive surprise.
And has anything truly surprising ever happened to you?
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid. Although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
What kind of evidence do you use?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
Well, thanks for explaining that. Now, about something else.
Yes?
Let's talk about specific cryptids.
Alright. What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say, but decides against it. You need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena or his friend Gary. He won't just talk.
Okay. Which cryptid did you almost catch? You said before that you almost caught one.
A willow person. It's a long story. One non-specialist would find rather dull.
What are willow people?
They're not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees. They're very, very thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here.
Wait, so I may have seen those willow people without knowing it.
You probably have.
How did you almost catch a willow person?
Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paints. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself. After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow dashing through the grove.
And then?
I chased it with a net. Not very elegant. You can't be elegant in the field. And, well, it was faster than me.
Oh,
A lavender shadow.
so you waited so long for hours just for it to run away from you.
I know you think we were snacking on funny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone and to admit that the world might be more interesting than you've imagined. Furthermore, I'm not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I'm painfully aware of what goes into verifying such things. There is a serious possibility that I saw a squirrel or a trick of the light. I am my own harshest critic.
Okay, at least you're honest. I know all about the kind green ape.
I'm guessing you heard about it from Lena. The kind green ape is one of her favourites.
A warm wave passes him. Of course, the kind green ape is her favorite, he thinks.
We travelled to South Safra to look for it once. Gary and I got stuck in a rainstorm though, and had to spend most of our time there in a little village. The search was fabulously unsuccessful, but the people were very nice. I'm glad they didn't understand what Gary was saying about them.
What? South Safra? They're just on a different rung of the ladder, Morale. I had no problem with them.
This guy has a very cartoonish voice.
Really? You kept complaining about how dirty everything is, but we digress.
They're a nascent culture. I just didn't feel comfortable. And let's change the topic, okay? Talk about your critters. Or whatever.
Oh, Gary the crypto-fascist? Okay, now I finally read his name.
Yes, back to cryptozoology. You don't want to sow disagreement between friends.
Crypto-fascist? Whatever does that mean? Is he a fascist towards cryptids or... Okay, I know about the most dangerous cryptid, the gnome of Geroma.
Formerly the most dangerous, yes. But do you know the most dangerous living cryptid?
No?
He doesn't want to make it feel like you knowing it is some big deal.
I can try to guess.
Believe me, you won't guess it. You either know or you don't. The most dangerous cryptid is a carnivorous ruminant, known colloquially as the dread moose.
Get out of here.
No, but we not get out of anywhere. The dread moose is a widely reported cryptid from Arda. It subsists entirely on flesh, and has even been known to dig up fresh graves in search of sustenance.
Okay, what does the dread moose look like?
Just like an ordinary Arden moose.
Then how can you tell if it's the ordinary or the dread kind?
You can't. That's what makes it so dreadful and hard to identify.
Okay. I'm starting to sense some BS here.
A moose that looks like any other moose. What's going on here? He's kidding, right?
I'm not completely sure about this dread moose.
The bodies found in the forest are just one piece of physical evidence. There's more.
What's the other evidence?
The recent surge in the moose population. As hidden carnivores, the dread moose are effectively removing competition for both themselves and their evolutionary cousins.
Why would it hide? Why would it need to hide its carnivorous nature?
Moose are already being hunted for sport. Can you imagine what would happen if they came to be viewed as predators?
What exactly is the relationship between carnivorous moose and regular moose?
The carnivorous moose are a very young species, the result of a genetic mutation that fared well in the process of natural selection. It makes sense that such a majestic animal with natural weapons, antlers, would come to rule the forest. The only strange thing is that it took so long.
Are there any reliable eyewitnesses accounts of a moose killing other animals for food?
One slaughterhouse at the outskirts of the woods in Vasa reported that its staff kept seeing moose in the distance. The moose would just stare at the building as though they were waiting for something, its eyes bloodshot and full of cruelty.
That does sound suspicious.
And that's not all. Some of the slaughterhouse apprentices went hiking by a nearby creek and saw a moose nibbling on an unidentified carcass.
This isn't something unique. Various species of deer have been known to scavenge when plant food is scarce.
Okay, so maybe he's exaggerating.
Anyway, there is more than enough evidence to justify a thorough search for the dread moose. Let's close the subject before it turns into an argument.
Okay, so that's smart. But we gained 5 experience from all of this.
Here is a man who has had more than his fair share of heated arguments and would, surprising as it may seem, prefer not to have any.
Surprising, I guess, yeah. You have a little bit of irony here. Okay, I know the biggest cryptid, the giant of Kokunur.
That's impressive, I guess. But have you seen it with your own eyes?
Have you seen it?
I haven't had a chance to travel to Koko North. No, and I likely never will. The Samaskill desert region has been embroiled in a small civil war for the last 8 years. I fear this mindless barbarism may have wiped out the elusive creature entirely. Sightings of towering luminosities have grown rare recently, while they once used to be constant.
Yes, sightings of mirages are constant. A mirage is a constant phenomenon that people have no time to report when a war is going on. It remains unclear what this has got to do with you seeing it, as he was inquiring before. He was just being defensive.
I know about the Cryobacter catlensis.
Oh, everyone knows about that one, thanks to Professor Mijanu being the talk of the town for a time.
A bit of jealousy there. He'd want that glory, truth be told, even if he'd have to inject himself with bacteria to get it.
Although, probably because her life ended as a result of her work in Gutler, no one remembers her contributions to the search for the Nongok.
The Nongok?
A flightless cursor owl found in the Seminine Isles. Its long legs permit the Nongok to run faster than any other avian, perhaps any other animal, who knows. When it's not hunting its prey in this manner, the Ock hangs from tree branches, like a bat, waiting to dive on hapless prey below on the jungle floor. Mijanu liked extreme animals, you see. One of the few figures of the academic establishment I respect. Really a shame she disappeared.
When did she disappear?
Oh, decades ago. In the 30s. I didn't know her personally, of course. The chasm of academic pretension still stood before us, even though she had unusual courage for someone from the other side.
Okay. Alright, just tell me about a cool cryptid. Any cryptid.
No offence, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't persuaded me to go back to field research. You should ask her if you want interesting stories.
Already did.
Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer. My strength lies in field work and persistence.
Enough tales then, let's change the subject.
By all means.
It's time to return to your woman, Morel.
By woman, you mean my wife, I assume. I will return to her. I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
Come on, Morel. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
This guy is so funny. I'm soaked up to my nuts. Man, it's so funny. I don't remember before the final cut of Disco Elysium if he was fully voiced. I mean, he wasn't fully voiced for sure, but I don't remember his voice being that funny. I didn't know the Phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
Really? She sighted the Phasmid? She didn't tell me that.
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious Phasmid.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian Phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
He doesn't sound too well. He sounds to be sick.
His spirit may be willing, but his body might be too old to endure the rigors of the coast.
Maybe you could go back to the whirling, warm up, come back to check the traps later.
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the Phasmid were to starve while we were sitting tea at the hostel?
He's dead set on this.
What if we check the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
Cryptozoology and detective work are very similar.
Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research, attention to detail, and, above all, persistence.
Where are these traps?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near.
Oh, we just went there.
Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them, you should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
Better safe and stupid. I like this addendum, I guess.
That seemed like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture?
What? Aren't you having fun?
Even relative to examining weak old corpse, I'm not sure mucking about in the reeds qualifies as fun. But have it your way, detective.
If you think it's important, you have been right before.
What do I do if there is a phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
What if I encounter the phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed.
Ooh, pheromone. I'm not sure if I like this.
It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Lay it on me.
Wise choice.
Okay. 5 experience just for covering yourself with insect pheromones.
This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
I hope you're not buying this. It dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
I get you have a point. I'm ready, let's get to it.
Right, which means you two can pack up and go back to the boiling.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
I'll get going. Alright, I think we discovered 2 thoughts while we were talking to him about cryptids, so let's check them out.
Call the Mama Dakwa. It's not only your eardrums that register sound anymore. Your very skin has become an organ of hearing. Looking for a whisper light and low. A god who's very, very silent. Nothing escapes you. A cockroach in the other room. A candy wrapper falling on dry grass. A drunk falling from a chair in a bar 20 meters away. In fact, you haven't heard the call du Mama Dakwa, but you have discovered that you have amazing hearing. It must be the only part of you the alcohol hasn't drowned out. Keep listening.
Wow, okay, I guess that's a cool explanation. So listening for a particular sound that isn't really there has made me listen to everything else more intently. Pretty nice. So we get +3 perception and -1 encyclopedia, unfortunately, but still it's overall a net gain of +2.
You're at home, stupid cop. Not with the art crowd. You hate them. Everyone hates them. Even they hate themselves. It's nauseating. An industry built on sprezzatura and sparkling wine. And, let's be honest, tax evasion schemes. The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center is the heart of this unholy symbiosis of aesthetics and tax optimization. And now that you've internalized it, you can have a piece too.
Wow, okay. Encyclopedia passives give +10 experience and +2 real. Wow, okay, so that's a great way to make money, I guess. But for that we get -2 suggestion. Well, honestly, I don't really like that. -2 suggestion is pretty bad. See, I'm down to 4 only. So... Oh, actually... Learn skill? Oh yeah, right. I increase it by 1. Why is empathy only 4? Oh, okay, bonus from thoughts -1 again. Well, because of the other task the other thought I just gained, which gave me +3 perception, my encyclopedia is not very good, so I'm guessing this is not going to be very used too much. 10 experience and 2 real. So I'm almost tempted to forget it right away, to tell honestly, to tell you the truth. And maybe, I don't know, check out this Mazovian socioeconomics instead. Well, yeah, let's do that. For the first time I'm going to forget. So that uses up 1 skill point, but I guess it's good enough for now. And I don't think I'll be using visual calculus in the near future. So let's see, let's research Mazovian socioeconomics. Let's see what's about. People think communism was some crazy idea that had its comeuppance 40 years ago. A fever that shook the world, never to return again. They were right. Until he woke up today, a spiritual corpse responsible only to the call of Commodore Red, prostitutes and Krasmazov. For him, communism is still a thing. He will single-handedly raise the commune of 02 from the oceanic trench, where it has been resting, covered in ghosts and seaweed. He is the big communism builder. Come witness his attempt to rebuild communism in the year 51. Alright. Okay. So I guess we gained some perception, so maybe we don't need to use those boots anymore. Let's see, what other boots do we have? This one gives us +1 composure and -1 saver fare. This one indirect modes of taxation. Okay, this one is totally useless at this point. And this one gives +2 authority and -1 composure. So I think composure is the one we need the most at this stage. So let's go back with our original green shoes. Yeah. We have good perception now, so let's see. Alright, time to talk to the funny guy.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer.
He doesn't look like his picture very much.
Yellow man. I mean, officer.
Yellow man? Alright, he is the crypto-fascist.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook.
Okay, this doesn't sound good. Every time he takes out his notebook, something bad happens. Not really.
Yellow man. That sounds awfully familiar. Something to keep in mind for later.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Alright. Not a lover of the great outdoors?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Nobody's perfect. I'm sure you've been tempted to drink.
Oh, I've been tempted. But someone has to stay strong for Revocol.
Serious question time. This man is no innocent. No one is.
Do you know anything about the man hanging behind the whirling in rags?
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
So you do know something about it?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
Is this your mug? The yellow man mug? Oh, right. Huh. He said yellow man, so maybe he's the guy that we broke, whose house we broke into. He's the guy who threw away the yellow man mug. Let's see.
My mug? Why would you think that?
You look like the kind of guy who might have a collection of mugs like this home in his colonial mug collection.
How do you mean? Forgive me, officer, but we've only just met.
He's trying not to look afraid, because that would be incriminating. Yet he is.
You're acting kind of suspicious. Did I mention the mug was found at the scene of a lynching?
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer. You're not going to find me, are you?
I am. For 20 real, 100 real, 250 real the maximum. Nah, Gary, I just want information.
Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I won't use another man's property to dump my garbage ever again. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
Here we go. Start pumping that sweet info.
How did you get into the trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Why would you need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob.
Man, this guy really is a racist. He has something against every other nationality.
I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
Kim can be pretty funny when he wants it.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was hanged behind the whirling in rags, into the trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Oh, please do.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Yes, what happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly. Okay, I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
What is that strange sound?
What sound?
That clinking I just heard when you moved.
Really? There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
Every day, the wind shifts the reeds and whatever was left in them. Tambourines and condom wrappers, plastic and glass bottles. The smell of decay.
You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
Ah, okay. What is that strange sound, then again?
What sound?
Don't mess with me, I think you know what I'm talking about.
I haven't the slightest. There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash.
Okay, we already heard
Every
this.
day, the wind shifts the reeds and whatever was left in them. Tambourines and condom
Let's move on for now.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
Don't be so relieved yet, Gary. This bad cop may have been in your apartment, admiring your mug collection. Perhaps a little intimidation?
Okay. Composure 3. +1 clinking sound. +1 want to wear armor. Thinking about the armor. Huh. Okay, maybe I could try this, but actually could probably soften him up a little bit too. You were surprised to see my colleague Lieutenant Kitsuragi?
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sail. I meant no offense, truly.
The lieutenant is a native of Revachol.
Oh, yes, of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections. Let's change the subject, okay?
So Gary, you live nearby, in an apartment in Martinez.
Sure do, officer.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
Have you found your door open lately?
In my home. Yes. When I was going to... How did you know?
Mr. Everard Clare thought it was necessary to unlock your apartment.
Mr. Clare unlocked my apartment?
No, I did, for his request.
So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him. What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but he doesn't like you.
I was probably talking too loud in the whirling the other night. About some theories. Stupid. Shouldn't have run my mouth loud like that. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
Okay, we got a few plus 5 experiences lately. I only mentioned this one.
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
He clearly liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door operation.
Nice. Let's see if this check got any easier. Alright, much easier. Scared him with apartment, okay. Alright, I think it's time to try this. Why is he shifting around like that? Analyze Gary's composure.
That
Nice.
shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
Something worn underneath it?
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example.
Bingo!
One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
I see you're a connoisseur of high quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You see a gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso. So he was the one who stole the armor, huh?
This shame is surprisingly sincere.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
Nice. Why did you lie to me, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
Alright. Why did you really put those clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you're a tiny tot now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Seal-like officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic apology. His face does not belie emotions.
Give me that armor, now.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat.
And to gain the Fairweather T500 cuirass. Nice.
This is it. This will protect your mortal shell. Don it and live.
Do you know who killed the hangman, Gary?
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word. I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth on this subject anymore.
Are we done here, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
Okay. So basically we upgraded a few tasks. This was really important. Task complete. Who put the clothes in the trash? 30 experience. Right. Let's see. Yeah, whoa, a lot of tasks complete. So yeah, we completed who put the clothes in the trash. I think there was also about an update in find armor pieces. Alright. It's one of the active ones. Find the armor pieces, yeah. Okay, actually it doesn't say any updates. But also find morale, okay, we already did that a long time ago. Oh, now it feels like a long time. And finally inspect the traps is a new task. And there's four traps to inspect. Okay, cool. After we are updated. Let's talk about cryptozoology again. Are you a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
Thank you for your cooperation, Gary. Alright. So we have the Fairweather T500 cuirass. This vitreous enamel cuirass fits snugly and redistributes kinetic energy across its countless white plates. Amazingly, it fits under your coat, and it also makes pretty porcelain sounds when shaken. Alright. So basically this is meant to be worn under your shirt. +1 pain threshold, +1 volition, -1 empathy. As opposed to +1 logic. Okay. Let's wear it for now, and let's see whenever we might need it. So, volition and pain threshold, but -1, what was it? Oh, empathy. Empathy is getting pretty low now. We better increase it soon, some way, because of that thought we gained, and yeah. Man, we're getting a lot of minuses from thoughts. Empathy, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, and 2, 5. So only 4 pluses, but 5 minuses, man. Well, hopefully this one will be done soon. Right. Well, we're good for now, but at some point I think... Which one was it? Yeah, not the rigorous self-critique. Yeah, this one. This one probably should get rid of it soon. It's not really that useful anymore. Auto-liberal dialogue options give points to Unreal. But yeah, let's keep it for now, if necessary. Okay, guys, I think this is a good place to stop. We had a long discussion with the cryptozoologists. We found the armor, so I think it's ready. We're ready to go for next time. Until then, see you later. Bye bye.